For centuries, there have been two phenomena that have perplexed mankind: their reflections and their shadows. Who were these strange visitors who could mimic their loved ones or themselves? What were these shadowy human figures that move about with unknown intelligence or origin? Some anthropologists assumed they were considered attendant spirits, one luminous and the other dark, one good and the other evil. Were these natural figments of heightened imagination, or are we all witnessing visitors from another realm altogether? Originating in Irish folklore, the fetch is a supernatural double or an apparition of a living person which takes on the appearance of someone who has just died or is just about to die. The etymology of the name fetch is rather obscure, with several sources citing the name as a derivative of fetch, referring to a psychopomp who fetches the souls of the dying in order to escort them to the afterlife. It's also argued that the term originates as an Irish-English form of faith, which means seer. The fetch is described as an exact spectral double of a living human. While not actually the ghost of a person it appears to be, instead it seems to be a phantom that simply takes on the same form. Visions of a fetch may even bear the signs of how a person will die. When seen in the early morning as the sun is rising, it is said to be a sign of a long and happy life for the person it imitates. When seen at night, the fetch is believed to foretell the person's death. Those familiar with a fetch's spiritual significance can heed the creature's warning accordingly, such as getting their life affairs in order. Some stories claim if the fetch is seen and the viewer tries to follow it, the apparition will quickly disappear down a hallway or alleyway. A Vardøger is believed to be a spirit or a creature with origins in Norse mythology associated with an out-of-body experience. Commonly described as a déjà vu in substance but in reverse, the Vardøger precedes someone at a location, mimicking the subject's footsteps, voice, scent, appearance, and overall demeanor. The result is that witnesses believe they have actually seen or heard the person to be present before the person physically arrives. There are many stories of families who have experienced the arrival home of a loved one, hearing them in the house or even smelling their perfume, only to find out later, once they do arrive, that they had not been there at all. Vardøger is a Norwegian word that means the predictive sound or sight of a person before they arrive. This concept is somewhat similar to that of a doppelgänger, yet with a much less sinister connotation. It's also been likened to a form of bilocation, the phenomenon of being two places at once simultaneously. Originally, Vardøger was considered a sort of fylgja, a guardian spirit that manifests on behalf of its host. To some, the Vardøger is considered to be nothing more than a trickster spirit that goes out before the person to whom it is bound to announce their impending arrival. They are believed to be ethereal and invisible by nature, but there are others who believe them to be corporeal shapeshifters that are capable of assuming a ghostly form. Either way, the Vardøger is a master at mimicking people, moving and speaking exactly as they do. It is for this reason some researchers consider a Vardøger to be like someone's very own personal poltergeist. More accurately known as Flimmerngeists, Flickergeists are shadowy beings that live just beyond our vision, seen out of the corners of our eyes. Observers seeing a Flickergeist often feel shivers, chills, and a sensation of being watched intently. The words Flimmern and Geist are Germanic in origin and translate as flicker guides. First described by the German Lutheran theologist and alchemist Jacob Boehme in the 16th century, Boehme asserted these beings of an unknown origin would flicker in and out of a person's peripheral vision, appearing to be humanoid, dark, and agile. Superstition at the time held that these Flickergeists were largely associated with death and may well have given rise to the popular image of the Grim Reaper, a dark hooded figure that flashed in and out of a person's vision shortly before they died. Scientific research suggests that these visual quirks are hallucinations of the brain deciphering the edge of visual perception caused by physical exhaustion, malnutrition, or mental fatigue. Some spiritualists believe, contrariwise, that it is in this marginal zone, lying on the edge of our vision, that our eyes and mind are able to perceive a different dimension than our own, where the paranormal creatures roam. One school of the occult proposes that the Flickergeists are, in fact, the spirit guides that lead a person's soul to the afterlife, while many others believe that these spirits have much darker intentions, even wishing to do us harm. A shadow person is the perception of a patch of shadow as a living humanoid figure, thought to be the presence of a spirit or other entity. Shadow people are dissimilar to other apparitions, such as ghosts, as shadow people are believed to be consciously aware of what is going on and the people around them. Most accounts of shadow people describe them as black humanoid silhouettes with no discernible mouths, eyes, or any expression whatsoever. They have no mass to speak of, existing either as a two-dimensional shadow or as a dark vapor. Their movement is quick and disjointed, moving slowly at first as if passing through a heavy liquid, then rapidly shifting to another part of their surroundings. Shadow people are also believed to be similar to poltergeists with an ability to interact with their environment. But unlike poltergeists, which are created through means such as murder or suicide, shadow people are thought to be created subconsciously by the negative energy of a person, including the person they torment. Shadowy beings have appeared in various religions and legends, such as shades and other demonic entities, but some theorists suggest that shadow people are creatures of another dimension that are manifesting by bleeding through into our own dimension. As a result, we are seeing them when our consciousness momentarily moves between realities and we catch a glimpse of them on the other side. When shadow people are discovered, the viewers often describe having been menaced, chased, or physically attacked. Often, believers and paranormal authors disagree whether shadow people are either evil or benign, although most victims of shadow people are left feeling nothing but dread. There are many paranormal experts who believe that, regardless of how they manifest, it is almost universal that shadow people appear to feed off of your negative energy and your fears. For more videos about the paranormal and the unexplained, please like and subscribe to the Oddities Observed channel.